then I'll let you guys chat. And I'll give you a chat warning about 2 minutes out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Hi, Carmen. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you, Denny?
I'm well, thank you. So first off, tell me, how excited are you for Plainclothes to premiere in theaters?
I am beyond excited. It's a dream come true. I don't know. I know it sounds cliche, but it's yeah, this is what I've always wanted since I was like 10. So
That's awesome. Love it. So Plainclothes is such a gripping and intimate story. What first inspired you to tell this story and why set it in 1990s Syracuse?
oh yeah, I guess what I don't know. I feel like I always say, I read an article in the LA Times and about a sting operation in Long Beach. And like
Mhm.
the sting operation happened in 2014, and I read the article in 2016. And it was a few years after I came out, and that was just a bit shocking that something like that was happening. And I started feeling unsafe and not totally secure in my queerness as I thought I might be.
Mhm.
And so I just kind of looked inward and I started thinking a lot about like where that anxiety came from. And I just tracked it back to when I was a kid in the 90s in Syracuse, like when I started suppressing my feelings.
Mhm.
That's how
Mhm.
I landed on the 90s. Um, but I really wanted to explore the concept of what it felt like to police your feelings in the,
Yeah,
I guess, in the context of coming out. And what I'm realizing now as like an out queer man is I still feel like we police our feelings in the queer community. Um,
definitely.
I think it makes it really difficult to connect with people, and I think it creates loneliness. And so that's something that I'm actively trying to heal from, and I hope our community can be on a path of healing with movies like this one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. Perfect. And why was New Year's Eve such a pivotal frame for the story?
I like Old Lang Syne, and there's something so tragic about Old Lang Syne and something so beautiful. Maybe it's just because I'm single, but I just think it's like there's like a longing to it, and I feel like this movie is a lot about longing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the core of it, really.
Okay, perfect. Well, also as core, the film explores identity, shame, and desire under surveillance. How did you approach balancing the thriller elements with such a personal, emotional love story?
I mean, I wrote it as a thriller, I would say. The romance kind of revealed itself to me while we were
Okay.
shooting. I don't think, I didn't go in writing a romance, but I realized that at its core, the thriller element was coming from like my longing and and my myself being a romantic in some ways and like longing for that connection creates like this oh my god, oh my god, oh my god feeling that's like I kind of thought about in terms of the thriller. So I guess they all kind of informed each other. It was pretty easy to balance on set,
Mhm.
especially when working with the actors like I did, like Tom and Russell. The way
Mhm.
that they connected with the characters and with each other really made that romance blossom. So it was, I think, all I had to do was trust them. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And Tom and Russell, they deliver such powerful, vulnerable performances. What made them right for the roles of Lucas and Andrew?
I mean, I kind of wrote it for Russell in some ways.
Mhm.
Like subconsciously, I saw him in a production of Angels in America that was recorded, and I think I just always I was started imagining him, but I didn't think he would do it, and I'm really glad he did. Um, yeah, with Tom, it was like I didn't know about his work. It was he I hadn't seen the Hunger Games, so um,
Mhm.
I was kind of writing the role and imagining like myself and or not to play the role, but just like when I imagine it in my head. I didn't really towards the end I started imagining specific actors, but it wasn't, you know, I really just wanted someone who could express a lot with their eyes. And Tom was the person who did that as soon as he came on the Zoom call. And
Mhm.
I just knew as soon as he popped up, I just knew he was the person I was writing the role for.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because Russell, he's like more of an established queer favorite, whereas sorry,
Tom.
yeah, Tom. Wow, I just blanked on. I apologize. Tom, he's more of a kind of more of a breakout star just in these past recent years. So, do you think that kind of made a significant impact on the film?
Do I think it will make it? Well, I mean, I hope
Do
that
you think it did make a significant impact?
Oh, I think so. I mean, Tom and Russell both have you know, like you said, like they have, Tom is a bit of a breakout star, but he's doing so much work. And
Mhm.
I feel like he's really loved by his fans. And I can like feel that love on Instagram. And Russell, same thing, like such a loyal fan base who and I think it's because they both just bring so much honesty to their work. Like how they are, you know, online or like, you know, it's just in what we see is like they really are that way. They're very like loving people who just really care so much about the work.
Yeah.
And that was a big reason why I cast them too, because they both have theater backgrounds. And I find
Mhm.
that a lot of times theater actors, there's like a reverence for the story that they're telling.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just I think that that translates and people can sense that. And I feel that with the people who love their work. Yeah.
Mhm. For sure, I would agree. Yes, definitely. Well, what conversations do you hope this film sparks about law enforcement's role in policing LGBTQ plus lives, both then and now?
I want people to know that it happened. And not a lot of people, when people like hear the plot of my film, a lot of times people think it's fiction,
Hmm.
you know, but a lot of the events that are in my film really happened. And we use police footage from the 60s,
Yeah.
a real police footage of a sting operation. And in some ways, I feel so honored to get to include that in my film because it's kind of a time capsule of queer history within this thriller. Um, so I guess I just want people to police their feelings a bit less. Like I don't, I'm not sure about the systematic changes that can be made because I feel like that is a lot of I feel like that's a much longer answer, you know. But I do know that as a culture, which includes the police departments, is like I think if we police our feelings less, we'll be kinder to each other.
Hmm.
And that's what I hope that people take away from the film.
All
Yeah,
right. Perfect. And the film won at Sundance, didn't it?
yeah. It won a grand jury prize for ensemble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also just amazing. How has the response from audiences and critics surprised or moved you?
I try not to read too much online, honestly, because I'm trying to write, and I do have anxiety, so it doesn't help me. Um, but I mean, I love a good review. It's moved me. I think the biggest thing that's moved me is after the festival. I'm still on a festival circuit now
Mm.
that you know we're being released. It's a little bit more about that. But during the festival circuit, I would get pulled aside, like in you know off in the wings or like or off in the side of the audience, and grown men who have had similar experiences will open up to me who's lost their friends because maybe they were entrapped by a police officer and then their picture was posted on a newspaper in the 70s
Mhm.
and they took their own life. Like
Yeah.
I'm hearing all of their stories and that has moved me the most because I feel like I'm a lot more connected to my queer community, especially the people who came before me. And I always wanted that connection because a lot of times as a queer person, it can and anyone, it can be quite lonely. Um, because of what we bring to the table, our anxieties, our fears. But releasing this film has been a really beautiful experience and has helped me connect with people who came before me and the people who came before me who I'll never get to meet, but I learned their stories through their friends who are still here with us. Um, it just feels it feels very healing.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Well, what else do you ultimately hope audiences take away from Plainclothes?
I wanted to spark conversation. I
Mhm.
want people to talk about their experiences. You know, I feel like a lot of times growing up, it's like you had to be like, no, I like girls
Mhm.
or I like boys. It was like either you're gay or straight. And I just feel
Yeah.
like there's so much more nuance to sexuality.
Mhm.
And I would like people to talk more about that. And I think in that way they'll get closer to each other too. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well, Carmen, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks, Denny.
Thank you, appreciate it. Ryan, I'll go ahead and go into the next room, okay?